Oh hey, I didn't see you guys here. Hi.
Not.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to RoboMania, the Halloween event. My name is Game & Soy, and tonight we have 4 fantastic fights that are going to be very important for the remainder of round number 2. 4 robots have already moved on in the names of Stinky Gangster, Death by Pumpkin, Thumpkin, and Cemetery. They have all moved on into the second round and are now awaiting the top 4 seeds or the 4 underdogs that moved on from the qualifying round. We are one step closer to the finale, which means Halloween is almost here, and I am very excited for that. There was a lot of standouts in the previous episode, but the one that truly stands out to me is Death by Pumpkin. Death by Pumpkin set a record for the quickest finish, tied at least, in RoboMania history. It will be facing the winner of Blood Spangled Banner, and it's a spooky month, and whoever it fights, it is going to be a great matchup that I am genuinely, truly excited for. We have some fantastic fights that are lined up in today's episode, but before anything, let's take a look at the rules of the arena. Each fight will be a total of 3 minutes long, including main events and championships. Each minute, the judges will award the winning robot a total of 10 points, while the opponent receives 9 points or fewer, depending on the dominance of that minute. The judges will base their scorecards on damage, control, and aggression, which means a robot must follow all 3 of these criteria in order to win. In order for a robot to win a fight, it must destroy, immobilize, or eliminate the opposing robot before the fight timer is up. If the fight were to end after all the time is up, then it will go to a tiebreaker where the judges will determine a winner based off of their scorecards. There are 4 total ways to win a fight in RoboMania. A robot can knock out the opposing robot, which means it completely destroys the opponent and prevents it from working. A robot can win by technical knockout or TKO, which means it can simply prevent the opponent from moving for a total of 10 seconds of the in-game timer. A robot can also win by elimination, which means it can punt or flip the opposing robot over the arena walls and out of the arena. If a robot can't complete either of these finishes before the fight timer is up, then the judges will take over from there and declare a winner. The 4 fights that we have lined up today are some incredible fights. Like I said earlier, we have the top 4 seeds of the tournament that will be making their RoboMania debut tonight. And all 4 of them will go up against the qualifier winners from episode number 1. This will all start out with the Reaper going up against Devil for Detail. It will be followed up by a great matchup by Blood Spangled Banner and It's a Spooky Month. Shortly after that, we will see the Doctor making its debut up against Tuwile Reaper. And a very underrated matchup to finish the night, we have Sin going up against Reaper. I cannot wait any longer for these matches, so without further ado, let's jump into the first fight of the night. For our first fight of the night, we have the Reaper going up against Devil for Detail. Devil for Detail squeaks by in a first round decision against Rotten Flesh, but it has a huge test when it goes up against the number 1 seed by the Reaper. And ladies and gentlemen, we are live for our first fight of the night. We have the Reaper going up against Devil for Detail. Devil for Detail has already won its first fight, while the Reaper is making its official debut tonight. Fighting out of the red square, we have Devil for Detail. This robot had a pretty decent win going up against Rotten Flesh. It grappled its way to a split decision victory. And I'm very concerned about it because it's going up against a very good robot in the name of the Reaper. This robot is the #1 seed for a reason. It tears apart opponents, and it is looking to do a lot of damage tonight when it goes up against Devil for Detail. 3, 2, 1, let this matchup begin. The #1 seed and the #17 seed, Devil for Detail, gets a good hit on its wedge against the Reaper and is now pinning the Reaper against the wall, but the Reaper hits back and it hits the tiny guy, Spawn, the mini bot that just goes flying, and I don't think that bot is working anymore, but Devil for Detail is now angry and it is trying to get behind the Reaper to try to get a good grappling to pin it against the wall. Both robots are kind of trying to do a lot of damage right now while the Reaper is pinned on its side. And this is a great start for the underdog right now. Devil for Detail is looking great in the first minute of this fight. The wedges seem to be holding up and the weapon on Devil for Detail seems to be working as well. A great pin that Devil for Detail is doing. The mini-bot looks to be just confused and not working at all, but Devil for Detail getting some good grappling points, and then the wedge comes off, and both wedges come off now, and now the tape has seemed to be turning a little bit. The tables have turned, and the Reaper is now in control of this fight from what it seems. The Devil for Detail doesn't have many protection left. The wedges was its only armor on front. And now it looks like the Reaper is chewing off pieces of Devil for Detail. It has no wheels left from what it seems. And now the Reaper is just going to town at the moment, just tearing off multiple pieces of Devil for Detail. And this fight looks like it's already over. It only took a few seconds for the Reaper, once it worked, once it got in control, to finish the fight. And now it's just putting on a performance, making everybody know that this is the #1 seed in the tournament. Devil for Detail getting completely dominated at the moment. A minute left in this fight, and Devil for Detail goes flying, and the mini-bot also goes flying and is now on fire. I think this is going to be the end of the fight, while Devil for Detail, the mini-bot of it at least, goes flying out of the arena. And now it is getting counted out, and this fight is over. The Reaper, beautiful performance. It didn't look great in the first minute of the fight. It was actually getting out grappled by a significant amount, but once it hit off those wedges, it made a different statement. You can see here Devil for Detail doing a really good job with the grappling, and this is where the first wedge comes off, and shortly after it the second wedge comes off. And that's when Reaper started to take over this fight, just tearing off the wheels, the armor, everything of Devil for Detail. Made it smoke, made it spark, everything you love to see in a robot, and just a fantastic performance by the Reaper. And with a fantastic performance by the Reaper, we officially have our first matchup of round number 2. The 1 seed versus the 8 seed will commence in the next episode, as the Reaper will take on Stinky Gangster in a match that should be really good. A great performance by the Reaper when it actually was getting out grappled in the first minute of the fight, and then it changed momentum and started to take over the fight from there. It did a lot of damage to Devil for Detail, which ultimately made it knock out Devil for Detail. Altogether, just a great performance by the Reaper. I'm excited to see what this robot does in the future, especially going up against a really good robot in the name of Stinky Gangster. For our next fight of the night, we have a tale of two spinners. Blood Spangled Banner will take on It's a Spooky Month. That should be a fight that should end in fireworks. And here we go, the 4 seed versus the 13th seed. This is Blood Spangled Banner going up against It's a Spooky Month. Both robots are spinners. Both robots are trying to make a statement in this first round of the tournament. Fighting out of the red square, we have It's a Spooky Month, who defeated Little Goblin through decision. This robot got a lot of hate because Little Goblin is a fan favorite. And now is its chance to make amends, to try to prove that it deserves to be in round number 2. it will be going up against Blood Spangled Banner. This robot has a ton of potential to be a great robot. It has everything that you want in a robot, and now is its chance to prove that it belongs in the tournament. 3, 2, 1. Let the fight begin between Blood Spangled Banner and It's a Spooky Month. Immediately, It's a Spooky Month goes flying courteous to the wedges, or the weapon, I'm not quite sure, of Blood Spangled Banner, and it is now being pinned against the wall right off the bat. This is the most action that It's a Spooky Month has seen in this tournament thus far, and it is not looking good currently for it. It is trying to balance itself out, but Blood Spangled Banner is keeping a ton of pressure currently, just staying in front of it when it's toppled upside down. Just constant pressure is what Blood Spangled Banner is trying to do in this fight from what it seems. An interesting strategy for a robot with a really good wedge, because that is almost impossible to defeat, and it is flipping over It's a Spooky Month multiple times, and that is not good if you're a fan of It's a Spooky Month. And now it is toppled, trying to get some good hits underneath, and it is toppling it again. Constant pressure within this first minute of the fight, and that is a dominant performance from what I've seen so far. Blood Spangled Banner hits off the wedge. The weapon. Not the wedge, the weapon of It's a Spooky Month. And now it has no weapon. That is not good for It's a Spooky Month. This fight is essentially over unless It's a Spooky Month can get a miracle shot, but it doesn't seem to be doing that right now. Actually gets a flip on Blood Spangled Banner, but from there, that is all it is doing. Going for a ride right now from Blood Spangled Banner into the wall, right where its weapon is laying on the floor. And Blood Spangled Banner might be looking to take this to the judge's decision now, just to prove a point perhaps. I'm not quite sure. It has the chance to knock out It's a Spooky Month, but that circle shape of It's a Spooky Month is hard to get a direct bite from any type of weapon. You can see how just It's a Spooky Month is staying stable now. That weapon, once it's gone, it is not really getting hit as much. As I say that, almost gets flipped over courteous to the weapon of Blood Spangled Banner, which seems to have been slowed down significantly. It seems like that weapon isn't working anymore. It might be stuck. I'm not quite sure. We have 30 seconds left in this fight, and it seems to be a one-sided affair. Blood Spangled Banner looking really good currently, pinning and doing a lot of grappling, keeping that aggression that it once started with. Both robots back up, and now Blood Spangled Banner is keeping the pressure again. 10 seconds left in this fight, and it's taking it for a ride into the wall one more time. And this looks like it will be going to a judge's decision, but I don't think it's going to be a tough one. Blood Spangled Banner dominated that fight and looked really good while doing it. A lot of questions are going to be, does Blood Spangled Banner have the power to knock out an opposing robot? But those wedges held. That's all that truly matters for a robot. When your wedges hold and they look good and they stay attached to your robot, that's all you need, really, in a robot that is going to win. There's the shot that makes the weapon fly off of It's a Spooky Month. And from there, pushing fight. But that's what Blood Spangled Banner needed to do in order to move on into the next round. I will be genuinely surprised if this goes the other way, but there's only one way to see. While we wait for the judges to figure out who won this fight, let's take a look at the statistics of this fight. Now, to a lot of people's surprise, minute number 1 was fairly close on paper, at least. If you look at the significant strikes and the strikes, they're dead even. But if you look down at the flips and the pins, Blood Spangled Banner should be able to win that minute. In minutes number 2 and 3, it seems like Blood Spangled Banner has easily won. But who knows what the judges are seeing when it comes to a fight when it's live. There's only one way to know who's going to win this fight. I'm getting word that the judge's decision is in, so let's see who wins this fight. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 minutes, we go to the judges' scorecards for their decision. The judges score this contest 30 to 27, 30 to 26 and 30 to 26 for the winner by unanimous decision, Blood Spangled Banner. And with the decision being read, Blood Spangled Banner will move on into the second round where it'll face Death by Pumpkin. Although it went to a decision and it didn't look fantastic in its performance, this match is going to be fireworks. Let me tell you, this fight I am very excited for. There's a lot of kinks that Blood Spangled Banner is going to have to work out before it faces Death by Pumpkin, because Death by Pumpkin, that first fight that it has all of the momentum on its side going into this matchup. But crazier things has happened, so who knows what's going to happen in this second round of the tournament thus far. 2 matchups, and both of them are fireworks thus far. For our next fight of the night, we have a horizontal versus vertical spinner matchup. The Doctor will take on Tuwile Reaper in a match that should not go the distance. Both robots are known for knocking out opposing robots at any time of the fight. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The 2 versus 15 seed. We have the Doctor going up against Tuwile Reaper. This fight should be very exciting to watch. We have 2 very powerful spinners that are going head to head, fighting out of the red square. We have Tuwile Reaper, a robot in my opinion that should have won via knockout in its first fight. It'll be getting its second chance to see if it can actually finish an opposing robot within the arena. It will be going up against the Doctor. This robot, besides the number 1 seed, has the most potential in the arena, and I am very excited to see how this robot's going to perform. It is known to punt opposing robots. 3, 2, 1, let this matchup begin between the Doctor and Tuwile Reaper. Immediately, Tuwile Reaper is getting underneath the Doctor, and now the Doctor is being aggressive and pushing towards Tuwile Reaper in a fight. I'm excited for this fight because both robots are very powerful with their weapons, and just like that, this fight's over already. A very sneaky hit by the Doctor that sends Tuwile Reaper out of the arena. I didn't even see that at first. And this fight is over. And I'm already getting word, this is a new record. The quickest finish in RoboMania history goes to the Doctor. 2 in the Halloween event. Amazing performance. I couldn't even see this hit. Let's see if we can get it. There was the shot that sends Tuwile Reaper out of the arena. Wow. I still cannot believe the Doctor has just moved on into the second round where it'll face Thumpkin in a fantastic matchup in the future. I was just talking about Death by Pumpkin holding the record, at least tied with Steel Drifting, for 22 seconds with being the quickest finish. And just like that, the Doctor has taken over by 20 seconds and now holds it by itself. I think we have a new favorite of the tournament when it comes to the Doctor, just based off of a 20-second fight. It's going to be hard to tell if it's going to do that again in the next fights. I doubt it, because it'll be going up against much tougher competition, at least by the name of Thumpkin, which is a much better overall robot. For our final fight of the night, we have another tale of 2 spinners. Coming off a fantastic performance, Reaper will take on Sin in an amazing fight that should end with a knockout. And for our final fight of the night, we have the 3 seed, Sin, going up against the 14th seed, Reaper. Reaper coming off the best qualifying round robot fights. It will be fighting a very difficult robot in this one. Fighting out of the red square, we have Reaper. This robot defeated the Grim Reaper via knockout, and now is his chance to say, hey, I belong in this second round of the tournament. I am not a qualifying round robot. Let me show you how I deal. And it'll be fighting against Sin. This robot, I don't even know how to explain it. Is it a full body drum spinner? I really don't know. It's a powerful drum spinner, let me tell you that though. And it also freaking looks amazing. I am genuinely excited for this fight. 3, 2, 1, let the final match of round number 1 begin. We got Sin going up against Reaper. A huge hit by Reaper, which sends both robots flying, and now Reaper is sitting on its butt right now, stuck it seems like, and now Sin is taking the chance to chew up the sides of Reaper, and now it is getting counted out while Sin is flying around trying to do something, and this fight is already over. 2 quick knockouts in a row. Wow. I honestly can't believe how quick that fight ended. Reaper looked really good in his first fight, and then just an unlucky shot that sent it flying right there, and it was pinned up against its butt, and that's how it lost its fight, because its backside was flat. And just like that, Sin is the winner. And with that fight being over and Sin moving on into the second round, our first round is officially over, and the second round will officially begin in the next episode. We didn't really learn anything about Sin in that fight, mainly because Reaper lost that fight on its own. But Sin will be going up against Cemetery, a robot that had a fantastic performance in the first round, and that is the fight that I am very excited for. That might be the fight of the night if everything goes how I think it will. And just like that, we have 8 robots remaining in this tournament. We started out with 20 robots, and now there are only 8 remaining. And if you look at all the seeds as well, I don't know. 0 upsets in this tournament thus far. You could make an argument that Rotten Flesh and Devil for Detail, the 16 versus 17, was an upset, but that was just so close on paper, it was hard to tell. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this episode of RoboMania, the Halloween event. Only 8 robots remain in this tournament, and only 3 can leave with a RoboMania contract, so only time will tell when it comes to that. Only 2 episodes remain until Halloween officially hits, where the finale will lay on that day. As always, my name is Game & Soy, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, where I will see you all next time on RoboMania, the Halloween event.